Another night in the garage. I sound like death. Another night in the garage. We're gonna get down to sanding the glazing putty finally. I had to drive my car to work today, so it's a little dirty. So we're just gonna get this kind of cleaned off with some wax and grease remover before I get the sanding with 180 and then the 320. So yeah, we're gonna hit it. Trying to get some more progress done tonight. I guess the best thing to do is to use our block with our 180 grit. Try and get this nice and sanded down. All the glazing putty spots nice and smooth. And I'm assuming, I don't know if it's best to use a sanding block, but I want to keep everything, nice and uniform. My unexpert opinion, I think you need to use that just to keep everything nice and smooth. So I already hit the whole roof with 180. And then I came back. God damn, my voice sounds like horrible garbage. Try not to talk much, but yeah, we're just gonna get the sanding and see what we get. 180 grit on the sanding block. This stuff breaks down really nicely. Sheesh. That is smooth as butter, baby. Just gonna keep hitting the spots. A little bit of gunk built up on there already. Again, I'm not sure 100% supposed to do X patterns or not, but I'm just gonna stick with what I've done already. That already feels nice and smooth. Little cross action there. Damn, that stuff smooths out really nice. That's very satisfying. So we're about ready to add the etching primer now to all the bare metal spots. I got everything sanded down to 180. I'm gonna clean it with some wax and grease remover right now, and then hopefully get the spraying. Alright, I got our first coat of etching primer down. Just went around and pretty much hit all the bare metal spots. No trick to it really, just cover all the bare metal. So we're gonna let it dry for about, 2 to 3 minutes. Maybe do 3 coats or so. Then we're gonna hit it with some sandable primer on top of that. I'm not sure if we'll get that far tonight, but that's the plan. Alright, we got the third and final coat on. Everything's looking good. Just gonna dry overnight. Come back tomorrow and hit it with the sandable primer. I made a little oopsie and touched my cardboard right along there. Made a little ridge on there, but nothing that we can't sand down later. So yeah, all the bare metal should be covered just in time for the rain that's on the way. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Hopefully make some more progress. Alright, well, it's been about 2 days later and we're back in the garage. Had to drive this thing in the rain the other day, so my goal tonight is to get the sandable primer up on the roof here and cover up, all this mess. I'm still going to, I believe, block sand it after I spray a couple coats of that primer, because it is supposed to be somewhat of a high build primer. So this should be the last of the ugliness on the roof. So we're gonna get this covered up with some sandable primer tonight. Hopefully all goes smooth, but I do have one dilemma. And that is, I only have this much masking paper, But really, I only have this much masking tape, so I'm gonna have to be very frugal with this tape and hopefully get the whole area surrounded and masked off. That way I don't get too much overspray on everything. I'm hoping I can pull this off. I'm just hoping I can get this done. That way I can get to spraying and yeah, be done with this thing. Alright, we got the rough masking done all the way around the perimeter. One other dilemma that I think I'm going to have is I'll probably have maybe about half of this left, so definitely didn't think that through. But at least I can cover maybe just the etched primer areas. Ideally, I want the whole roof kind of covered with a couple coats of this, so I'm at least going to get one coat on tonight before I run out. So we'll give it our best shot, see how long this can will last. I prepped the surface already with wax and grease remover, so everything should be nice and clean and ready. So we should be good to go. All right, let's get it. Whew, all right, well, we are all out. I barely had enough to cover the whole roof, so it's a little uneven. It's not too perfect. So we'll have a look at it tomorrow when it all dries, but this is only the first coat. I want to do a couple more just to kind of build up the layers. That way I can get this roof as flat as possible. That's the plan. You can kind of see the inconsistencies there. Well, that's all right. It's gonna dry up. We're not quite done with it yet, but we're getting there, we're getting there. I'm curious how flat I can get this roof from where we started to where we are now. I'm sure it's gonna be a huge difference. So stay tuned until we get back to it. So we'll see you guys then. This is the next day. This is how it's looking. This is just one coat of the filler primer on here. But I went on ahead and picked up another can of the filler primer so we can get another coat on here. Fortunately, I have to remask everything off because I had to drive my car to work today. But we're back in the garage. It's a Friday, so I have a couple days to have my car in the garage if needed. So yeah, I kind of failed on that masking job, didn't I? Might have to take a little razor blade, scrape off this overspray there. But no big deal, it's just on the glass. Hopefully with another coat on here, coat or two on here, everything's going to be nice and built up, and then we're going to give it a sand. But yeah, it's basically, you know, I could slap some wrap on here if I wanted to. But I'm just curious how good I can make it look without wrap on it. Just kind of experimenting with bodywork and whatnot. So you guys saw what I went through to get it to this point. This is where all the hard work is going to pay off, and I'm starting to notice it now. So that's pretty cool to see. It's good to know. A little rubbing alcohol and paper towel. Just a little elbow grease, a little rub-a-dub-dub, and overspray is coming right off the glass. No further harsh chemicals are needed like acetone. Well, good to know. Learn something new every day. Would you look at that? Alright, well, we got the car remasked off again. We had plenty of tape this time because I went by Home Depot, picked up another roll of this masking tape. So, not shy on the tape on this. Everything's nice and tight, doubled up. Try and minimize the overspray if possible. But we're going to go on ahead and shoot the second coat of the primer. Hopefully kind of get all this stuff filled in and looking all one piece there. So hopefully this next coat I'll do it nice and perfect and there won't be any problems. That's the kind of attitude you need for great results. So we'll see how I do, but let's get it. Let's get that other coat on there. I'm not sure if I'm doing a third coat or not at this point, but we're definitely doing a second coat. Alright, we're back the next night. Everything's all nice and dry. It's looking a little bit better after adding that second coat, but it basically took a whole nother can just to do the top here. So yeah, filler primer doesn't really last that long if you're doing this big surface here. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to do the same thing at home. Comes out thick, so I guess it empties out the can quicker as well. So everything just needs to be sanded now. Just a light sand to 320, get everything nice and smooth. A little buildup of etching primer when I accidentally tapped it with the cardboard. So nothing I can't smooth down and sand it a little bit. So yeah, you can still see it's not perfect, but then again, it's just gonna have wrap over it, so it's a lot better than what it was. We'll see how it looks after we get it sanded. So let's go ahead and pull the masking paper off, see what we're working with here. All right. Well, that goes, that's the 320 sand right there. Got it all sanded down 320, nice and smooth. Again, it's not 100% perfect. Had a little bit of that primer built up here, the etching primer, so kind of came off and leveled it out nicely. It's all nice and smooth now. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up with some wax and grease remover, because we could put some actual primer on there, non-filler primer, just a primer coat, but I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Probably not, because I'm done masking. I'm only really looking to put wrap on this, so a roof wrap is in order. So yeah, we'll get the roof wrap on here and start preserving the paint underneath it, and hopefully nothing cracks within the next couple of years, and we'll be good to go on the next wrap. Or if I do actually paint the car, who knows? Everything's all up in the air right now. I really don't know. But so far, we have a better looking roof. Definitely came out pretty good for amateur body work. I'm pretty happy with it.